Hello, everybody. Welcome to Improve Your Mood and Your Mind with Essential Oils. I am Kaylee Suter, and I am this is a recording actually of the webinar I did at 2 o'clock. I did it and I didn't hit record, so I decided I would redo it for you all that asked for a recording. You won't be able to hear everyone else's responses to some questions I asked, but you'll get the information that I provided the listeners with. So here we go. I'm just going to hit screen share. And I just have to close that out. Perfect. Okay. So is this you? You suffer from anxiety or depression. You have days when you're unmotivated, tense, impatient, or angry. You can't seem to get out of a slump you're in, and you're feeling overwhelmed or overstressed. Your hormones are out of control. You want to be your best self for you and those that are in your life. If any of these relate to you, you're in the right place. What you're going to learn today. So we're going to learn what essential oils are. I'm not going to delve a massive amount into this because you're here for mind and mood, but you're going to learn the basics, how doTERRA essential oils are different, the 3 ways you can use doTERRA's essential oils, and how they work to support your mind and your mood, and then what oils are best to support your mind and your mood. Lastly, for those that want to know how to purchase essential oils, you'll get to learn the best way to do so for your money. So you'll get the most for your money. So who am I anyways? My name is Kaylee, and I'm a mom and a wife. So that person in the picture is my daughter, Isla. She's 20 months old, and she is everything to me. And I'm also a mom to a fur baby named Kaiser. He's a boxer dog. And I'm also a professional certified coactive coach. I work with new moms and soon-to-be moms. And I work with entrepreneurs also at basically going for their goals and coming up with a strategic plan to do so. For moms specifically, it's learning how to balance being a mom while they go for their goals, and how they can still achieve what they want in their life and what that looks like. And I founded the company called YummyMummyLife.com, and I'm also very passionate about running and triathlons, physical activity in general. So a little bit about my why to using essential oils is parenthood. This is a broad aspect. I'm not going to go into my story that got me started. I'll tell you a little bit more about mind and mood for myself. But my big why is that I want to be around for my daughter's life to see her grow up and be and do whatever she chooses to do, and be there for her to support her, and go for my goals and my dreams too with my husband, and live a healthy life and be active until the day I die, and be happy and loving the moments that are happening in my life every day. That's my fur baby I was telling you about, Kaiser, right there. So what are essential oils? This picture you're seeing right here is actually a peppermint, and it's a magnified picture, and those little white sacks are the essential oil. So they are going to be found on flowers and stems, on the resin of wood, on fruit. Essential oils live in so many things, and they are the immune system of the plant. They are organic chemical molecules that the plant has developed over thousands of years, hundreds and thousands of years in some cases. And it develops these to protect itself against different conditions that are happening, against diseases and attacks from things like ants and other things that come into their lives. It's almost like a natural pesticide. So they're very concentrated, and this one little drop of peppermint essential oil is actually equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. And I often at this point get asked, if I use herbs, isn't that the same thing? Like if I use peppermint herb? And it's not. So if you were to take, I'm going to tell you the difference. So it would actually take 4 tons of peppermint leaf to make 1 liter of peppermint essential oil. So the oil is very strong, much stronger, and you're not going to be able to get that just from using the herb. So doTERRA are the oils I use specifically, and this is a breakdown of the different oils on the market. And there's so many to choose from. You can find them at the dollar store, at Bulk Barn. So this is going to break down the difference between them. You've got a synthetic version, and this is most of the kinds in the market. And these are the ones you're going to find in your perfumes. They're in your lotions. They're synthetic, so they're made in labs. They take the components of what it takes to make lavender, and they make a fake version of it. So it's like putting poison in your body. It's not good. Then you've got a food version, and the food version is what the FDA regulates can be used in things like your extracts for flavoring. So that's how the oil is going to be used. And then you have your therapeutic grade, and this is going to be found in places like a health food store or if you go to get a massage. So this is a much better essential oil. It is has benefits. Typically, it may not be as consistent though with the benefits. Then you've got the certified pure therapeutic grade, and this is doTERRA's brand of oils. So this is certified pure therapeutic grade means that they have third-party testing, that they're making sure that every single liter of the essential oil has the same fingerprint, so it has the same effectiveness for each use. The thing that's specific to doTERRA is that it's indigenous to where that plant grows naturally, and they get it at the best time of the year so that it gives you the most benefits that it can. How you can kind of look at it, if you wanted a metaphor for oils, if you're in a grocery store, there is so much different food options, and usually the labels on foods can be quite misleading. So the food you would see typically in the inside the grocery store, where you have all the lanes and stuff and box products and it's processed, that's going to be more your synthetic kind. That's what I compare it to. Then if you're going to go into your therapeutic, where things get more advanced, that would be organic. And the certified pure therapeutic grade, I look at it as organic and local. So it's not just organic, you're also getting it from a local area, you know where it's from. And doTERRA goes to significant lengths to make sure even their founders, their kids use it. So it is super important to the people involved within the company that the oils are pure and 100% pure and beneficial to the world and there to elevate lives. So there's 3 different ways to use doTERRA's essential oils. There's aromatically, and this can be when you diffuse it in the air. So, my diffuser is not right by my side like it typically is. I brought it up to my daughter's room for her nap time. But you can diffuse it in the room, and sometimes people will want to use something that's slightly different than a diffuser. They'll ask me, or if they have one of those items that you have a candle and it heats oil that can blow in the air, you actually want to make sure you're using a diffuser, because if you were to heat it, it's going to ruin the benefits that the oils have within it. So the compounds that are found need to be kept at a certain temperature. So you don't want to be heating that oil up. Whereas if you use a proper diffuser made for the oils, it's going to keep it at the temperature it needs to be, so that it's giving you all the therapeutic benefits that are there. You can also inhale it right from the bottle, and you can wear it. So if you had a necklace that has felt, you can add it to the felt material and be like aromatically smelling it that way. You can add it to a hot cup of water and inhale it that way too. The other way is topically. And so these things are specific to doTERRA, so not all essential oils, especially if they're not pure, are going to be able to be used these 3 ways. Topically is if you're to have an upset stomach, you would maybe put peppermint is really good for digestion. So you'd take a few drops of that, 1 to 2, and you'd rub it on that lower abdomen where you're maybe experiencing pain. Or if you have a burn on your hand, you got burnt from ironing or from maybe your straightener or cutting the grass, you would add a drop of lavender on, and that's going to be soothing in that spot that you got burnt. So that would be your topical use. Another way you can use topically too, you can wear it as a perfume. So put it behind the ears or where your pulse points are. Internally is very, very, very specific to doTERRA. So this is where you can actually cook with it. You can add it to what's called a veggie capsule. So it's an empty pill that you can add oils to so that you can take it in a pill capsule. You can also put it in water. So for those with, let's say, allergies, you can add 2 drops of lavender, 2 drops of peppermint, and 2 drops of lemon into a little shot glass and take a drink of that. And that's another way you can be using it internally. So one thing I like to cover before I go into the mind and the mood specifically is the safety of essential oils. And the main thing here is that oils were not made to go into your eyes or ears or your nose. If they ever do, in that case, you would not want to actually wash it out with water. That's only going to it's going to heighten that essential oil and what you're experiencing. So it's going to make it worse. You want to dilute it and wash it out with another oil. So what's called a carrier oil. It could be coconut oil, fractionated coconut oil, which is in a liquid form. And you could use olive oil or vegetable oil. I prefer using fractionated coconut oil because it's not greasy, and it's it absorbs into the skin nicely. So that is my favorite to use. So if you ever got something in those areas, you'd wash it out with that. Now, in terms of how many drops to use, less is more. We live in a society where more tends to be more. We want to remember that you always want to start with less. So 1 to 2 drops. And for kids, the rule of thumb, or like a good starting point, is 1 drop to 1 teaspoon of your fractionated coconut oil or your carrier. And then if you still feel that experience you're feeling, whether it's a burn, give it some time. So I say 15 minutes before you do another application. So an example is my husband did burn himself on a lawnmower over the summer, and he came to me and I was like, okay, let's put some lavender on it. And after the first application we did, he still could feel it. So we went through this process 3 times before he said, okay, this feels good. I don't feel any tingling or anything anymore. It's totally gone, other than the mark that was still there. You want to be following the labels that are on the bottles. And this is what's great about doTERRA is they label the bottles really nicely. They actually put a code so that if you didn't have the effect of the oil that it's supposed to have, or you feel it should, you could call doTERRA and let them know the code number, and they can actually look at the process of that batch and what happened and all the process it went through. So the different words or things that they use to kind of explain how to use it. There's A for aromatically, that's you're diffusing it, T for topically, and I for internally. And then in terms of skin sensitivity, N means neat, which is going to be you can apply it and not have to dilute it. So you can put lavender directly on the skin. S is for those that are either young or have skin, like sensitive skin. And that's where you'd want to dilute it first. And then D is you automatically want to dilute it. And this is going to be for your hotter oils. Hotter oils are things like oregano is quite hot. And if you put it just directly on your skin, it's going to burn. And you'll want to use some coconut oil to get that calmed down. Another hot oil would be your cypress is quite hot, or there's just other hot ones that you can experience. But oregano is probably one of the hottest. So here we go. Essential oils for mind and mood. Here you're going to see the brain. And we talked about using oils aromatically, and this is where it really relates. So when you're aromatically smelling an essential oil, it's going up to your nasal cavity and going through your sinuses all the way to your olfactory bulb, which I'm pointing to you. I'll point to it with my mouse. So when it hits this, it's the start of everything else you're seeing here. It's connected to your hypothalamus, thalamus, your hippocampus, and also, I can never say this as nicely, amygdala. So it's connected to all those other pieces. And I'm going to get into why that's important. And I'm using notes in this section because there's a lot of information to be said here. So what that means is really all these sections are super important because they're influencing other areas, and these other areas influence our mind and mood. A lot of the oils we're going to speak about here soon can actually break the blood barrier, and you'll learn about why that's important and how that affects everything else, the chemistry going on in the brain, so that we don't have anxiety or depression. So we're going to start with the hypothalamus, and this guy right here is super important. They all are, but this one's responsible for a lot of different things. So it's responsible for hormone production. Hello, ladies. So this is going to be it's really important if you have PMS or you're going through menopause. This is going to be a huge part of that. It also supports your sleep, your sex drive, your circadian rhythm, your moods, and your release of other hormones in the body, as well as thirst and hunger. It's super important that we take care of this area. Another area is the thalamus right by it. And so this area is your sensory and motor signal relay, and it regulates the consciousness and sleep. So many of us fall under having lack of sleep in our society. And I did a blog on this not too long ago, so I'm going to share some of the statistics with you. University of Laval actually said 40% of Canadians have some sort of sleep disorder. And then in America, CDC says 70 million Americans suffer from chronic sleep problems. And with lack of sleep and inconsistent sleeping patterns comes us being more moody, lethargic, chance of diseases, other things happening within our body. So sleep is super important, and we're going to talk about oils that can help support that. The hippocampus is associated with mainly memory, specifically long-term memory. And this is why smell is so important and is linked to this area. Now, many of you, I'm sure, have experienced times where you've smelled something and you're brought back to like a memory from way long ago that it connects you to. And this is where it's happening in the brain. So it's your hippocampus. And one of the listeners earlier today shared he oftentimes will get a smell of his memory of being in Disneyland in Florida. When his family brought him there when he was young, him and his brother, it was a specific smell from the beach, like that smell that's left over in your bags even after you come back home. So every time he smells that specific kind of beach smell, he's brought back to his first experience of going across country to Florida and going to Disney World. For me, I have certain memories of making my first ever pie with my grandma. And we made a cherry pie, and I remember being in that kitchen with my cousin Whitney, and every time I smell a cherry pie, it brings me back to making my very first one with my grandma. And I have other ones that are more related to people on certain occasions because of the perfume or scent they wore, that if someone walks past me while outside or I'm in the subway and I smell it, it will bring me back to a certain person or a memory I have with them. So it's just amazing what the brain does and what scent and smell does, and specifically aromatically when we diffuse things. So it's so hard for me to say, the amygdala, it's a mouthful for me, is our lizard brain. And it is the most ancient part that is our survival piece of ourselves and our brain. And it's the part that's associated with emotions, specifically aggression, not specifically, but like especially aggression. It controls our fear responses and the secretion of our hormones and arousal and the formation of memories. So that's where the aggression side is going to be living for us. Now, we've got the blood-brain barrier happening, and this is a filtering mechanism that protects our brain from damaging chemicals that can enter us. And so much so that only 98% of small molecule drugs, like 98% of the molecule drugs, can't cross this barrier, which means even sometimes when you're on a medication for anxiety or depression, it may not be supporting you as much because it's maybe not necessarily getting through here. All right. What I want you to know is there's actually an organic chemical molecule that is in certain essential oils, and this is sesquiterpenes. Again, another hard, big mouthful word. Sesquiterpenes, and they can cross the barrier and interact with neurotransmitter receptors for glycine, dopamine, and serotonin. So this is huge, basically. These are strong, very strong anti-inflammatory sedatives, soothing to irritated and sensitive tissue, and they also work as liver and gland stimulants. They also increase oxygenation in the pineal and pituitary glands that are a huge part of controlling our hormones. So these sesquiterpenes are massive, and like I said, they are within specific essential oils. And these are the ones that are within. So these are essential oils with high levels of them in it. You've got your ginger, your myrrh, your sandalwood, your vetiver, and ylang ylang. And for me specifically, I have a lot of experience with sandalwood and vetiver. Vetiver is one specifically we purchased for night terrors for our daughter. So she started experiencing it a few months ago, and with that, we are using lavender in a room, which is one we use for calming and sleep at night, but it wasn't helping with the night terrors. So we ordered vetiver, and we noticed it had such a huge difference when we diffuse that with the lavender, or on its own. Even it's like they call it like a sedative is what it's kind of known to be. And it just really puts you in a soothing mood that you kind of zone out. What was really cool, I was diffusing this one yesterday with some friends, and it was their first time experiencing it. And both of them just got like totally zoned out and sleepy. They're like, "What is that? I feel like I'm in a spa. It's so relaxing." Another one that we use in our home a lot is sandalwood. Also, we use this for sleep and for calming, and it's just brilliant. We have a really good experience with that one too. So essential oils with low levels include bergamot, cinnamon bark, clary sage, clove, white fir, frankincense, which is it's my number one oil. I use frank all the time. Geranium, heliochrysum, lavender, lemongrass, melaleuca, also known as tea tree oil, and peppermint. And a lot of these different oils you're going to see in a lot of the blended oils that we're going to talk about that are known to be so supportive of mood and mind. So calming, we've got balance. Ingredients that are within this are spruce needle, leaf, hoe wood, frankincense, blue tansy flower, blue chamomile flower. So this, to me, when I smell it, it's like being out in the woods, very outdoorsy kind of smell, and I just love it. I use this one personally on my feet every day. I put it on to just set the tone for the day and get me in the right mindset. So it promotes feelings of peace and calm. It helps release pent-up emotions and promotes positive outlook. I forgot to tell you guys, I'm gonna stop screen share for just a second to explain my story with mind and mood when it comes to essential oils. So for the most part, I have found myself a pretty positive person that looks at the glass half full, and I tend to have a lot of energy. My mood and energy and mind and emotions all switched around after having my daughter. Right from the get-go, my hormones were all over the place, and I hit my all-time low in the winter months. So I'm fortunate enough in Canada to have mat leave, and we had a really tough winter. Again, we're experiencing another really cold one here. And I was stuck inside, and that meant no going on walks with my daughter or our dog because it was in the negative double digits, and frostbite was too high of a risk. So we were inside, and for those that know me and for those that don't, I'm a very outdoor person. I love the sun. I despise cold weather. And it was getting to me. So my husband would get home at night or when he got home from work, and I'd be short with him. I'd be on the verge of tears all the time. I wasn't enjoying life. I'd have a lot of highs and lows. And I just felt like I wasn't in the best control. And it got to the point where near the end of winter, he's like, I don't know how to help you. I think we need help to figure out what's wrong. I think you're going to need to go see a doctor. And at the time, I had just bought a book called Mind Over Mood, and I started using that. And that was a really helpful tool that I started using. And then winter was pretty much done. So my mood improved after that. But we started using the oils that summer. And that's when this winter came around. And again, we've had a very cold winter, and I'm still inside. We share one car, so I'm inside with my daughter in our home. And I start getting those feelings back again. And the oils have been a huge part of my life at bringing, like even before, it doesn't even get to the point now where they get so low, because I'm in action ahead of time. I'm being proactive with my days. Like I said, I put balance on my feet when the day starts. And I typically wear one you're going to hear about soon called Elevation throughout the day. Or I'll diffuse another one called Citrus Bliss. Again, you're going to learn about it. But I've taken control of it, and I know and feel so much better. And it has created a much better atmosphere for our daughter and for my husband, because I don't want to be unhappy and a person that brings other people down. Like I want to be a light for myself and for those around me. So that's why it's so important for me to share with you how impactful essential oils for mind and mood can be. So I'm going to go back to screen share and get you guys back where we were. So we went over balance. Another one is Serenity for calming. And this one has lavender in it, which is even so good on its own for calming. It has sweet marjoram, Roman chamomile, ylang ylang, sandalwood, and tasty and yummy vanilla bean. So this is great for soothing and calming emotions, promotes relaxation and restful sleep, and lessens nervous tension, both mental and physical. So you could add this one to your pulse points, like your elbows, behind the ears. It's a great one to add over your heart. That's what I do before bed. This is my husband's favorite one to diffuse at night for us. He loves the smell of this personally. You could also add this to your bath, so you could add a few drops in that way. Another calming blend is called Clary Calm, and specifically this one's great for PMS or menopause. I actually, whenever I know like my symptoms are coming for PMS, I'll automatically put some on the back of my neck, and I put it on my lower abdominal, and it takes away. I used to get such bad cramping. After having my daughter, I never went back on the pill. And so my experience of having abdominal cramps was so much different than what it used to be. I never used to experience PMS to the degree I started to after having her. And this little one here is a huge help, where I don't have abdominal cramping, and I feel good. I don't feel down or anything. So it balances hormones, eases symptoms of PMS and menopause, and is progesterone-like effect. Then there's Whisper, and this one's also good with hormone balance. So ingredients includes rose, jasmine, bergamot, cinnamon, citrus, vetiver, ylang ylang, cocoa, vanilla, sandalwood, and patchouli. And it promotes relaxation, and it's great for hot flashes if you experience this. So this one's a unique blend. When I first got it, I wasn't too sure of the smell. It's got kind of like a musky smell. And I don't know if it's that I've just been around essential oils much longer. I really enjoy this now. I love wearing it as a perfume. And this is also great if you are feeling like your sex drive has gone down. This would be a great oil to promote sex drive, to support you in that area. Past tense. So ingredients are wintergreen, lavender, peppermint, frankincense, hello Frank, cilantro, marjoram, Roman chamomile, basil, and rosemary. So it eases muscle tension in the head and neck. Often people use this for headaches, for migraines. It also soothes the body and mind. So if you had an area on your knee, like a joint that was sore, you could also rub it in there. I use it to focus. So if I have a lot going on in terms of my work, this is one I typically will just roll into my temples. The last calming one I'm going to talk about is wild orange. And this is funny because wild orange, a lot of people see this as uplifting, and it also to me is uplifting. It knows how to balance yourself so that it is calming. So it's been used with, you can see there, dental patients. They've done studies where females and children were less anxious and have less stress so that they could be okay through that experience. And it's also now that and Citrus Bliss has been used in hospitals and waiting rooms to help not only the patients but those working experience a better workplace. And the statistics on that, if you look up Vanderbilt University and essential oils, you're going to see a video on that. I believe it was Fox News that did it. So uplifting oils, you've got your Citrus Bliss, and this one smells like dreamsicle. It's delicious. You can see all the different citrusness within it as well as vanilla. And it elevates mood, it reduces your stress, tension, and anxiety. This and wild orange are ones that we diffuse in our home to start the day. It is just awesome. I forgot to mention, you guys, that balance, I actually use on my daughter when she's getting like anxious or just not so happy after her afternoon nap. Sometimes I'll mix it with, like, I'll dilute it with coconut oil and put it along her spine. So, sorry, I remember that. And I love balance for using on her and keeping her calm, or car rides even. I'll put some on her feet before we go on a car ride. Elevation. So elevation is my go-to during the day. I told you about this a little earlier. It's going to elevate your mood, increases vitality, and reduces that sad and anxious feeling. Great for those that are suffering with anxiety or depression. This is a big one. I put this one in my necklace that has that felt material so that I'm smelling it all day. And I often wear this one as a perfume. I watch 2 other kids with my daughter, so under 3 years old, a few days a week. And this joyful blend is kind of what they call it. doTERRA calls it, is so great at just keeping my energy at a good level for them so that we can have fun together and be together in the moment, and that I'm my best for them. So for focus, Entune is an oil that's a blended oil doTERRA makes, and it improves concentration, focus, and a healthy thought process, helpful for those who struggle to stay on task and focus, especially children. So in today's society, ADD is on the rise right now, and this is one that I've heard a lot of great positive support with it, has helped their kids in staying, especially for moms that are actually doing, that teach their children from home. It's been huge. They'll use that if they've noticed their kids are having trouble finishing a lesson. They'll put this on them, like on their feet or on their temples. So Entune is great for getting the focus back on track. And this is a great, great matrix that I love to show you guys on mood management. So Dr. Hill, who's really highly involved in working with doTERRA, he created this matrix, and you can see it goes from fatigue to stress to no peace to no passion. And you can see what you may be experiencing could fall into one of these areas. So you've got, for angry, impatient, stomachache, headache, if you're falling under that category, Serenity would be the oil for you, and this would be what it's going to help accomplish. And then you've got your balance. If you're tense, worried, digestive upset, neck pain. So if you're falling under the stress category and no peace, balance is for you. Fatigue and no peace, Serenity is for you. And know that you can actually mix these oils. So if you say, oh, I feel like I could fall into a few of these categories, you can actually blend them together to give you the benefits that you want to achieve. So for those that are feeling unmotivated, discouraged, chest tight, brain fog, so they're fatigued, there's maybe no passion, Citrus Bliss is in this category. And Elevation is for your no passion, you're stressed, you're feeling hopeless, withdrawn, chest tightness, lower back pain. These oils are four of the most beneficial ones that I love personally for helping with mood and mind management and improving those areas. In terms of doTERRA's products in general, the number one selling product that doTERRA has, and a product that is now I would use before I used the oils even, and it was the last product that we used. We did all the oil stuff first, and then we were like, okay, let's try this because we heard so much great things about it, is the Lifelong Vitality Pack. And this pack it's your vitamins that you would have daily, and it helps with everything from energy to recovery. Like if you're, for Kev and I, because we're very active, that's my husband, and we do a lot of training, and we train for Ironmans and stuff. Recovery is super important for us, and we have found since we've been on these, we recover quicker. We're able to train better. We're not seeing injuries. My hair and my nails are growing. Earlier when we talked about the hypothalamus deals with body temperatures, I have Raynaud's, so, and I also have hypothyroidism, so my circulation isn't the best, and it has improved significantly since I've been on this Lifelong Vitality Pack. For a while, we weren't even sure if it was just us feeling good or the pills, so we went off them to see. And the morning we didn't have our first one, we felt the difference. I went for my run in the afternoon. I was just feeling so lethargic and so dead. And then I remembered, oh my God, I haven't even had my pills today. So we gave it a week before we decided, okay, what are we going to do? And we went back on them right away because we are missing them so much. They also benefit sleep and so many other things. They do have a 30-day money-back guarantee as well. So some of my favorite resources I want to share with you are neweverythingessentialoil.me, and it lists things you can choose to go under either health concerns that you may have, so list all different ailments alphabetically, or you could go into oil and blends and look up oils specifically that you want to look at. What's great is when you are looking at the health concerns, this category, say you had your health concern was psoriasis. It's going to list protocols for you to take, the oils to use, and how to use them. It also gives, if you have kids, how to go about doing it with kids. And then the other thing, it has a section for testimonials if you want to see other people's experiences and maybe how they've modified it. So that's a great site. One of my favorite books is The Modern Essentials, and it also comes in an app. And the app is so handy to have with you when you're on the go. It's probably, I used to use the book more often, and now I tend to use the app a lot. Very handy tool. The other books that you see there are the Pregnancy for Birth and Babies, and I just finished reading that. It is awesome. It is so good. We would like to have another kid at some point in our life, and I can't wait to go through pregnancy this time with the help and support of the oils. Two other books I have there are Emotional Healing with Essential Oils, and then Healthcare for Today. So it comes up with like a 60-day plan on how to use the oils to support different ailments you may be going through. And the last website I have on there is Aromatic Science, and it just has different, in general, research that's being done with the oils. So how to buy if you wanted to buy. So the best option is to buy wholesale. And it's like a Costco membership. So it costs $35 a year, and this is American. And then at the end of the year, you pay a small fee. I can't remember. I'm sorry if it's $20 or a little bit more. But they send you a free bottle of peppermint to replace the cost. So it's pretty awesome. If you want to get that fee covered, that $35 for the year, you can actually, if you order a kit, doTERRA has came up with kits that save you money. So basically they put together kits that group some of the favorite oils or products that are done. And there's a ton of cool ones. So I'm only going to show a few. If you want to be sent the other kits that are available, just shoot me a private message or email and I'll get that sent off to you. But when you purchase a kit, that fee is waived at $35. So it's included in that cost and it's taken care of for you. The first kit here, the Family Physician and Home Essentials have the same oils. The main difference is the size of the bottle. So Family Physician doesn't have, theirs are 5 milliliters. It's about 75 drops. And Then you've got, with Home Essentials, 15 milliliters, and that's about 250 drops. And this is the kit I started off with. I think it's so amazing because it comes with a diffuser, and that would be your aromatic use of the oils. And for mind and mood, it's so important to have a diffuser on hand. So this kit is $291.50 US, and it is just so awesome. It replaces what's in your medicine cabinet, and it is, all those oils can do so many different things. But anyways, that is a great kit. There's other ones too, so I can send those to you. The next thing, when you decide to do wholesale, and I'll show you how you would do that, you'll get an option to be part of the loyalty rewards program. And this is like being part of an Air Miles plan. So every time you purchase oils, you'll earn points. And what's awesome is the longer you're with doTERRA, you get a certain amount of percentage back from your order. So I'm now up to 25%. So say I spend $100, 25% of that comes back to me in free oils. And how that would work is, a loyalty rewards program means you're ordering oils monthly or products from doTERRA monthly, and you can choose and change your order as much as you want, whenever you want. You can cancel at any time. And to earn the points, you have to spend a minimum of 50 PV. So that means point volume, and it's equivalent to about $50 US. And that's how you would earn more points. Say you don't want to spend the 50 and you only want like one oil next month. As long as it's over 10 PV, you'll be able to keep the points you've already established. Okay? And then the last thing, if you wanted to do what I do and educate others on essential oils and their benefits, you'd have the opportunity to earn commission. And to do that, you'd have to spend 100 PV a month. So to recap today, essential oils are a simple and effective solution. doTERRA oils are 100% certified pure therapeutic grade, and essential oils are effective for mind and mood issues. If you have any questions, because this one's a recording, since my first one I didn't press record, just shoot me a text, an instant message, an email, and I will answer questions for you and get back to you. Or if I don't have the answer, I'm not an expert, I am a dedicated learner, I'll find a solution or support for you. So how do you actually order? You would go to mydoterra.com/yummymummylife, and I'm going to show you how to do that. One second. So I'm going to stop share. And then hello again. Okay, let me just get this sorted so I can show you how you would actually do this. So we're going to screen share one more second, and I'm going to bring you up into what's loading right now. So you're going to be seeing, so you're going to have a login. Oops, that's not what I wanted to bring you to. One second. / So this is what you go to, Yummy Mummy Life. It's mydoterra.com / Yummy Mummy Life. And to become a wholesale member, you'll go to join in the top right corner here. And then once you go to join, it's going to bring you to a page where you would choose, I'll just show you once it loads. So you're going to choose the language you speak and the country you're in. So for those like me that are in Canada, you go to Canada, and it automatically is already on wholesale prices. So you would click continue. And then it's going to ask you for your personal information, and it all has like red stars, the stuff that they need. If you're in America, you for tax reasons, you'd have to put in your SIN number. Canada, you do not need that. Enroller ID, if it's not there already for you, and it should be, it's 970315. And then you create a password, and then you would go to the next page. And that's where you would get to either choose just that $35 enrollment fee, which is called, I believe, when you're on the next page, Introduction to doTERRA, or you would choose the kit that you want to start with. So for those of you that decide to purchase within 48 hours of watching this, if you buy what's called the Natural Solutions Kit, and I didn't share that with you today, but if you decide to purchase that, I will send you a bottle of Elevation your way. And for those of you that sign up with the Family Physician Kit, the one that comes with the diffuser, I'll send a bottle of fractionated coconut oil your way. So just I hope today was informative for you. It was very quick. So I hope you enjoyed it. And whatever questions you have, like I said, just send them my way and I will support you in the best way I can. And I hope you all have an awesome rest of your weekend and happy International Women's Day. Bye for now.